It's the Yankees and the Red Sox tonight. Game 1, best of 3. It'll be at Fenway tonight, 3 in a row, and it'll be Severino and Sale, then Tanaka, Price, and not sure who against Rick Porcello. It's always big. It's the Yankees and the Red Sox. Randy Miller, Yankee beat writer for NJ.com, joins us here on the home of the New York Yankees, 104.5 Team ESPN Radio. Good morning, Randy, Roger Weiland, and Chris Honorato in Albany. Good morning to you.
I'm here. How are you doing, guys?
Hey, Randy. Good. Sorry about that. We just had to do something, and the gremlin was there, and it's gone now, so we're all good. How big a series? I mean, look, it's the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's a big deal. It's the first installment, but for the Yankees coming off what happened against the Orioles, and we've all been talking about Stanton and the 16 strikeouts, it seems like it's somewhat of a big series early on for the Yankees, especially with the start that the Boston Red Sox have gotten off to.
Well, the Yankees are already 3.5 games back, and it's April 10th, so you don't want to fall further back. The Yankees wanted to win the division this year, and it's a chance to kind of make a statement to the Red Sox, hey, we're still here. And but I don't think in the grand scheme of things that if either team sweeps that's going to matter when you look at we're 10 games into the season.
How big of a series and bounce-back series is this for Giancarlo Stanton, who I said, look, if you're booing Giancarlo Stanton a week and a half into the season, knock it off. He's going to hit plenty of home runs for this team and win many games with the long ball for you this year. But how about at least a little bit of a bounce back for Stanton, who struggled so much against the Orioles?
Well, I would think he'll be better being on the road. That'll probably be good for him. Interestingly, I looked up at Stanton's career stats, the day-by-days yesterday, and every year in his career, except for one, he's gotten off to an absolutely terrible start. It's always the same, hitting 1-something or low twos with 1 or 2 homers after 15 or 20 games, and then he takes off. So this is nothing new that he's going through, and I know a lot of Yankee fans are wondering, can he handle the pressure in New York? Is this guy going to be a bust? They should have waited to get Bryce Harper. Just look at what he's done in the past and in early April, and then look how he's finished. Same thing last year. He was terrible last year, his first 15 games, and he ended up pretty well. Then he hit 59 jacks.
Yeah, he ended up doing okay as the National League MVP. Randy Miller of NJ.com with us here on Big Board Sports and 104.5 The Team ESPN Radio. Check him out on Twitter at Randy J. Miller. And at the top of his Twitter feed, you'll find the things you need to know about this series, the Yankees and the Sox at Fenway. Randy, I saw you had the note in there that the MRI revealed a small crack in Xander Bogaerts' ankle, but he may not be sidelined for all that long. How big of a factor, though, just for these 3 games, does that play and the changes that they'll have to make to the Red Sox lineup?
Well, Bogaerts has been their best hitter so far, so I would think that greatly affects the Red Sox. You lose a big bat like that, but again, Yankees, Red Sox, you just don't know what's going to happen. I like the fact that the pitching matchups in the first couple games, I heard you mention that you weren't sure who was going Game 3. My guess is Sonny Gray will go Game 3 on regular rest since that's CC Sabathia's turn. So basically, every team has their top pitchers lined up. The Red Sox top pitchers have been lights out. The Yankees top pitchers have been pretty good. It's an exciting series this early in the season, and especially Game 1 when you look at Severino versus Sale. Severino took a big step last year in becoming an ace, and he mentioned in spring training to me how he just doesn't want to be an ace. He wants to be in the Clayton Kershaw category, and he's off to a fast start, 2 wins, looks dominant, and it'll be fun to watch him against Sale. They had a great outing last July where they dueled, and I think Severino left the game in the 7th inning down 1-0, and Sale had about 13 strikeouts that game, and the Yankees won in, 15, 16 innings that game, and that was a classic duel, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see it again in the cold weather in Fenway.
We're talking with Randy Miller, Yankees beat writer for NJ.com. Randy, of all the injuries that the Yankees have suffered here early on in the season, which one concerns you the most?
They need CC Sabathia, and I know they say that this is a one start that he's supposed to miss, but he's gone down a lot, and you're dealing with a hip issue. You wonder if that's going to lead to something more serious down the road. He is such a leader on that team, has reinvented himself to be a really good middle to bottom of the rotation starter, and that's the one I'd be concerned about. And then also on top of that, you wonder about Drury when he has those migraine headaches and dizziness, and you hope that that's just nothing major. It's been going on for quite a while. He had some tests done yesterday. We haven't heard what came of that, but you hope it's nothing. And I know he's probably not a long-term solution at third base, but this year he's probably going to be there until Andahar can show that he's ready. And this is Andahar's shot, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the next week or two, at least, when Andahar gets a shot at third base, if he can steal that starting position away.
Raj, you know, it's funny. I don't know that there's a wrong answer to that question, because immediately my answer, and Randy, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, it would be Greg Bird, just because of the injury history. And now, okay, we got another one, and I understand he's going to come back at some point this year, but because he feels like somebody who should play into the long-term plan to this team, to have another injury, again, just concerns me about what his future might be.
I talked to Bird at length, I guess it was Saturday or Sunday morning, for about 15 minutes in his locker. And first off, it was interesting to see how Bird was in such a good mood. And it was the first time he showed up after the surgery. And one thing he mentioned is about how his doctor was saying, make sure you tell everybody that you have a good ankle, that it's sound, and your problems are over with. And now I think Bird is convinced more than ever that all these issues that he had for basically 2 years, and he didn't tell the truth to us in spring training that he felt good. He was still sore, and he stunk this year in spring. And you wondered, what's going on? And then he has another surgery and say, oh, here we go again, shoulder surgery, two ankle surgeries, same foot, same spot. But after talking to Bird, I'm convinced that this issue is going to be over. For a guy who hasn't done it consistently, it's amazing how much confidence he has, how much confidence the players have in him, the organization has in him, and they're not expecting him to be a contributor. They're expecting him to be a star.
Yeah.
And he's expecting to be a star. He doesn't want to be a good player. He's incredibly hungry to show people that he's all these years he's missed. It's going to be worth it when he gets back and stays healthy. And I have a feeling that now more than ever, after watching him and talking to him, that you're going to see the real Greg Bird, the one that was lights out in spring training last year, looked pretty good at the end last year, the one that kind of teased you in his rookie season in the end of 15, that what he can be. I think we're going to see that sooner, and I think that he's due for a lot of good luck. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bird ends up with he's going to play 4 months. Don't be surprised if he ends up with 20, 25 homers in those 4 months.
Randy, Didi Gregorius making $8.2 million this season. He's eligible to become a free agent after the 2019 season. You wrote a column about this recently, about Didi Gregorius being open to a contract extension, and I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, I talked to Didi about it last week. I thought about it after he had the huge game in the home opener with the 8 RBIs, and he's 2 years away from free agency. And I know a lot of people associated with the Yankees and Didi himself. They hear a lot about how all these other great shortstops in the American League, and he's kind of backseat, not to the Yankees. Didi's hungry to prove that he's an elite player, and he is proving it. And my guess is that after this season, the Yankees will reach out and something will get done. From my talk with Didi, I got the feeling that he was not trying to break the bank. Everybody, of course, when you get agents involved, he's going to want to be treated fairly, and I think he will end up being treated fairly. I talked to a scout about it who has a good feel in these situations and knows a lot of agents, and he thinks that a fair price that both teams could live with would be six years and $20 million a year.
Whew.
And when you look at what Didi brings now, he goes from struggling as Jeter's successor, really struggling, can't hit left-handed pitching, to now he can hit all pitching. He hits with power. And this year, I love the fact that he's walking. He stole a couple bases. And I covered the Phillies for 16 years, and in a lot of those years, it was a ground ball to short, and it was an out when Jimmy Rollins was there. And you're seeing that now with Didi. He's not Ray Ordonez at short and making these crazy diving plays, but he makes all the good plays. His throws are sound, good arm, and when you get a ground ball to short, you want it to be out, and he's now very consistent there. In addition to being, I'm just surprised at all this power he has. He had 25 homers last year, and he missed a month. And what can he do over a full season? I never thought this guy would be a 30-homer guy. And you look at Stanton and Judge and Sanchez in this lineup, and then you get Bird and Didi. You could have 5 30-home run guys. That's crazy.
Randy, good stuff from you.
Maybe 2 60-home run guys.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, listen, we appreciate. I always like getting the beat guys on because they always know what the heck they're talking about. They got a lot more knowledge than this. They do it every single day. Already telling us that we can take the TBD out of the game 3 and pencil in Sonny Gray against Rick Porcello. Randy, we really appreciate a few minutes. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Good job.
Yeah, I was going to say the choices would be Luis Cessa or Sonny Gray, and I think for the Red Sox, you're not going to throw Luis Cessa into that start because Herman was an option until he pitched in relief on Sunday. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sonny Gray, and it'll be Gray against Porcello, so that'll be another good matchup.
I always believe the beat writers. I can tell you that right now.
They know best.
Thank you, Randy.
Thanks,
appreciate
Randy.
it. Randy Miller.
Take care, guys.